Theresa May and Philip Hammond hilariously mocked Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn as he presented his argument for a National Health Service under a Labour government during PMQs, as Mr Corbyn was listing the number of promises a government under his leadership would keep on the issue of the NHS. The Chancellor started mocking his tired promises. Prime Minister Theresa May, sitting next to the Chancellor, pretended to fall asleep as she listened in UK Parliament. Theresa May pretends to fall asleep as she listens to Jeremy Corbyn's tiring promises for the NHSThe Labour. Leader said a Labour government wouldn't be underfunding the NHS, a Labour government wouldn't be privatising the NHS. A Labour government wouldn't be underfunding social care, a Labour government would be committed to an NHS free of their point of views as the human rights. In response to Mr Corbyn's promises, the Prime Minister said, "What we want to do is our support for the NHS is providing it with the right funding, the doctors, the nurses, the treatments and the capabilities that it needs in order to be able to deliver for patients. That's why we're backing the NHS with more funding, that's why we're ensuring they get the best treatments. Survivor rates of cancer are higher than ever before, it's why we're ensuring we have better joined-up services across the NHS and social care, so those people who don't have to go to the hospital are able to be cared for at home, and it's why we're ensuring that we're reducing waste in the NHS so taxpayers' money is spent as effectively as possible on patient care. That's a plan for the NHS, but it's a plan that puts patients first." Thursday, February 9, 2017, during the PMQs session, the Prime Minister also answered questions on the issues of homelessness, the Brexit negotiations and the closure of many branches of the Royal Bank of Scotland. Labour's Karen Buck tells the PM that 3 million Britons live in homes unfit for habitation and urges May to ensure her private member's bill to give tenants more powers to challenge landlords if they fail to do enough to bring properties up to scratch makes it into law. SNP MP Kirsty Blackman asked if Mrs May is working to secure a frictionless trade agreement with EU, including staying in the customs union. The PM said, "We're leaving the EU, which means we will be leaving single market, no longer members of the single market and the customs union." She said Britain is working towards being able to sign and implement trade deals with other countries, SNP leader Ian Blackford repeated last week's question about the Royal Bank of Scotland's plans to close a number of its branches in Scotland. He urged Mrs May to intervene, but she insisted that branch closures are a commercial decision.